Hello everyone and welcome back to Prepared Monday. So today we're going to be talking about light sources in the event of a power outage or some other issue where you don't have electric light. And so there's a couple of different types that you can look at for this kind of a situation. First one is a chemical light, which is also known as a glow stick or glow light. Now these have some advantages and some disadvantages. Number one, they're disposable, which is kind of cool. I mean, once the light's done, you toss it in the trash and it's over. Not very conservationist, but easy to use. You don't have to worry about glass or anything else. They're made out of plastic, specifically polypropylene plastic. Most of them are non-toxic and phthalate-free. They're non-flammable, and they're even weatherproofed. So they can be very advantageous in that aspect. Now, your next choice is going to be a standard flashlight or electric lantern. And these are great because with modern LED bulb technology, you can get a lot of power in a very little package in these kind of lights. Now, there's some downsides, however. These all run off batteries. Once the LEDs start going, they're pretty much non-replaceable. And realistically, they're relatively expensive still. And can be quite a bit of an investment. So unless you're camping and recreating in the woods or in a primitive type environment like out doing camping events for like the SCA or something, they're not highly recommended even for emergency situations unless you're looking at long-term emergency situations. Now, on the flip side, you also have the dynamo-activated lanterns and flashlights, which have some of the same advantages as the LEDs because they're basically the same type of device. And instead of running on batteries, they run on a dynamo. So you crank them up and turn them on and they go. Now this is really great because you don't run out of batteries. You've just got to crank that dynamo every so often. And if you've got kids, well, then you can make the kids crank the dynamo while using the lights. Now, this can also be a problem because you can't just turn them on. You're going to have to crank them up before you turn them on. So you'll never have the instant on like you will with, say, the battery-operated devices or even the chem lights where you just snap them and they're on. Now, a third option is going to be something like an oil lamp or oil candles. Now, for those of you who are new to this kind of stuff, I'm going to give you a fair warning. Do not use kerosene in these devices. Use ultra-pure paraffin oil. Paraffin oil. Now, you can also use well-refined olive oil, but I'm going to recommend the paraffin oil over the olive oil. Okay? These guys tend to be glass, so you have to be a bit more careful with them. They're not very user-friendly for small children because they are real fire. And you need to know how to handle these safely. So you're going to act with these very differently than you will other devices. Also, if your home has issues with airflow, losing heat or keeping heat in too much, these devices become a bit more problematic because if you've got too much of a draft, they're going to go out on you. If you don't have enough draft, you're going to end up smoking up your home. So these are realistically, they can be a long-term solution, but they are very difficult to use right off the bat. They're for a more experienced user base. Now, these are the main options, and realistically, what I'm going to recommend you look at is you look at a multi-tiered approach. And what do I mean by that? Well, I mean quite simply, get something like a battery-operated lantern and then a few dynamo-operated flashlights. And then maybe keep a few oil lamps and or candles around as well. And the candles and oil lamps can be moved to areas where light is really needed, but you don't want to waste one of your larger, more high-powered lights, like, say, a bathroom or something of that nature. And then you can have the high-powered lights in the primary traffic areas, such as the living room, where you can keep the kids entertained with a board game, and they're going to be reading, so the lantern works great there. Also, that means that while you're winding up the dynamo-operated flashlights, if you need to go do something in the house, or you need to go check the cars or something, and it's night, you can do it with light to let you see what you're doing from the lantern, and then you can take the flashlight with you once you've charged it up. So the multi-tiered approach is realistically your best choice. Now, if you can't afford to go multi-tier, I would recommend probably looking at least having 2 types of light. So I would recommend probably in that case the chemical lights and a dynamo-operated flashlight or 2. And these go for the same reasons. Now be careful when you're buying the chemical lights. You want to look for the military-grade lights. Military grade are like Snap Light, which is an actual military grade production contractor. And they do their 6-inch snap lights that will last for 12 to 18 hours. And that's what you want to look at when you're looking at these chemical lights. Well, I hope that this gives you some ideas about being prepared for the emergency situation that you know is going to hit your house. Because we all know the power goes out. We all know that windstorms kick up, knock things down. Ice happens, snow happens. People crash into telephone poles. And sometimes even you end up in a situation where you don't have income coming in. And so we all need to be prepared for these little incidents. Please come back next Monday. Join me for Prepared Monday. Once again, if you want to discuss this topic in depth, go ahead and comment below, or you can follow me over to minds.com/Veteran Mountain Man. There's a link below. You can also catch me at Patreon, where all of my content goes up first. That's Patreon/Veteran Mountain Man, as the link below. And remember, if you enjoyed my content, please like and subscribe if you're on YouTube. If you are on Vidme, go ahead and upvote and follow. Thank you all, and have yourselves a wonderful day.